The early slate of games in Week 14 had lots of playoff implications and some very close games coming down to the wire. We're here to break it all down in snap judgments, joined by senior editor Eric Edholm. And Eric, let's start in the NFC. The Bears really in must-win territory. Despite that good record, they have a tough schedule down the stretch. They lose to the Vikings 21-14. Big win for Minnesota puts them at 7-6, right in the thick of that wild card hunt.
And this is the second or third time this season the Vikings look to be on the verge of getting thrown out of the mix in the playoffs. They're back in it. I don't know how. Christian Ponder still hasn't played all that well. I mean, Adrian Peterson was a beast early. Obviously, the defense made some key plays that kind of kept him in the game. But the Bears, my goodness, I mean, losing 4 out of 5 games now. You know, Jay Cutler being taken out, probably for his own safety at the end of the game. I mean, it just was so unpretty at times for them. Marshall made a few plays to keep him in it, but ultimately they fall short and lose a big game against a team they dominated 2 weeks ago.
And while the Vikings get to 7-6, the Bucs fall to 6-7. And when you look at this playoff hunt, we'll talk about the Cowboys and the Redskins later, but the Buccaneers lose 23-21. Nick Foles with the game-winning touchdown pass as time expires. The Eagles finally win a game. So good news for Philadelphia, nice win, pride for them. But the Bucs, I mean, that's a brutal loss for them.
You know, I said earlier today, before the game started, or right at the start of the games, I said that secondary for the Bucs is what's going to be their downfall, and it is. I think it's what's going to keep them short of the playoffs. Game below 500 now, too deep in NFC field, too many mistakes on that side of the ball. They just let Foles make too many plays. 381 yards, the most ever by an Eagles rookie in his first NFL game, or win, I should say. So it was a huge moment for the rookie. Has to prove himself for next year. Obviously, they don't know what their quarterback situation is, but a big step back for Greg Schiano's Bucs team. Looks like they're going to have to wait till 2013.
Another young quarterback leads his team to a game-winning touchdown. Sam Bradford. The Rams come back to beat the Bills 15-12. Bit of an ugly game there in Buffalo, but the Rams 6-1, very much in the NFC wildcard hunt.
And they're a team to watch for next year, but obviously they're still in it this season, and some clutch plays. I mean, it's never pretty with them, but Jeff Fisher really knows how to coach, and he's brought this unit together. A lot of new faces, a lot of young faces, and I think Sam Bradford, they've given him a little bit more each week, throwing the ball downfield a little bit. No Amendola today. They got the ball in other guys' hands. Brandon Gibson came up big.
Yeah, the Bills are going to really hate when they watch the tape of this loss. George Wilson, a couple opportunities to get interceptions to seal the game. The Jets, 17-10 win over the Jaguars. Believe it or not, the New York Jets are 1 game out of the AFC wild card. They run the ball well. Defense plays, strong game. They get the interception at the end to seal it. All the craziness has happened with this team, and they're still alive.
Yeah, I mean, not having Cecil Shorts was huge for the Jaguars. I think that took some of the teeth out of their passing game. But good job by the Jets defense, making Henne look bad. The run game, obviously, for the Jets was important. The quarterbacking at times was strange. The decisions these coaches make about who they're going to play, oftentimes odd. But like you said, they're still in it. Can't count them out at this point.
And the Colts, we've been talking about teams that are trying to get a playoff spot. The Colts are really about to seal it. A 27-23 win over the Titans. Really bad first half for Indianapolis. Came back. They're now 9-4 and about to lock up that first wildcard spot in the AFC.
Yeah, they got themselves in a hole. Maybe some bad refereeing too, kind of didn't help. But Andrew Luck's been taking a beating. It's something I worry about. Yes, they made the comeback. They're a team that lives by the skin of their teeth. They're fun to watch, but a lot of flaws in this team. And I really worry about Luck's health. They may want to pull him at times in the final few games if they do clinch a spot.
Well, if we learned anything from these slated games, it's going to be very exciting the last couple weeks as these teams are all battling for those playoff spots. We'll talk about some other playoff hunts, the AFC North included, in our next set of Snap Judgments. Head to our YouTube page and be sure to check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.